Right. Well, here we are. We are waiting for some people to come on in as we prepare to go live to talk about this very important process of the three P's for interviewing, which are preparation, practice, and professionalism. So let's just wait a couple seconds and make sure some people are in. We're going to share to a couple different platforms here. Yes, it looks like we are in. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. So, hey people, how you doing? Come on in. Come on in as you're coming in. Please tell us who you are and where you are from. Hopefully you've brought your teenagers and you're putting them on as well, because this is a very important topic. Super, super important. So come on in. Come on in. Let's see here. Yes. As you're coming in, again, please tell us where you're from. Hopefully you can hear us. I'll wait a couple more seconds and make sure everything is good on your end. I'm excited. I am here with my soror on this evening.
Good evening.
Yes. Hey to the peoples. Yes. Just double checking to make sure we got some people coming in. Again, we are talking about the three P's of getting ready for an interview, which is your preparation, your practice, and your professionalism, which is missing in a lot of today's interviews. So we want to make sure that we are coming through loud and clear. Yes, we want to make sure that we are coming in loud and clear, that you can hear us. So, can everybody hear us? I hope everybody can hear us. I hope we're coming through loud and clear. Please drop a comment if there's any um, discrepancies on your end, and we're going to get started. We are talking about the three P's of preparing for an interview. So it's your preparation, your practice, and your professionalism. All right, great. So let's get started. First of all, again, I'm excited to have my soror with me this evening, Angela. So if you can just say hey to the people, introduce yourself, and just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hey, everybody. I am Angela Vernell. I am the senior staff and administrator at Amazon for the gig note. I am also the owner and operator of the Career Stone Experience. And most recently, I Dope. I have been in the workforce development industry for the past 20 years, dealing with the at-risk youth and the adults that have been out of workforce for a while, teaching and training on these exact same things, also on how to apply, how to write a resume, and how to most importantly retain your job. I am so
Mm.
excited to do this evening with my soror, and to drop some knowledge on everyone. I think everybody can learn something from this live tonight.
Listen, sis, you done dropped a whole serious resume on us tonight. I don't think the people were ready for that one, okay? Myself included. You are a cannonball of information, and this is what people need today. I was begging people, please send your teenagers, send
Hmm.
your young adults to this live, watch the replay because you need this information. Similarly to you, I have been working for about 20 years. My focus has been training, staff development, human resources, preparing managers to be managers, to manage with success and with excellence. And one of the things we're finding in our society today is more and more people are out of work, Apparently, it seems like less people actually want to work.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And some of that is because people are not finding their purpose. They're not finding the area of flow. They're just kind of going through the motions. But another part of that is we've become lazy as a society. One of the most recent trends, obviously, is using artificial intelligence to do everything for us, right? Even to think for us. And the danger is now we have people entering the workforce that are not prepared on the technology side,
Oh yeah.
and just aren't ready for what's coming. So, oh man, I'm super excited for this discussion. And I want to start us off with a story. And this is a true story. And this is kind of the catalyst for wanting to have a discussion like this. I had a young lady come in for an interview, and I'm a stickler. I'm a little old school. You know, when you go for an interview, I want you to be conservative on the dress side. I want you to, come in professionally, come in early, if not on time, make eye contact, that kind of stuff that we used to teach back in the day. And this young lady had on a white denim outfit. It was a pantsuit and a jacket. So I was like, okay, well, at least it's, a jacket and pants. But there was a big red Kool-Aid stain on her jacket. And immediately I could not focus in the interview because her
Mm-hmm.
Kool-Aid stain was talking to me through the whole interview. And somebody in the job was like, well, what if she, just spilled it like on her way to the interview, or, what could she do? I'm like, well, one, she could remove the jacket. She did have a blouse on underneath. Two, there's like all these little stores, convenience stores. There was even like a CVS around the corner. She could have got a scarf or a flower or something. But that stain was talking to me to the whole interview, and I literally couldn't focus like on any of the questions that I was asking for her. So I literally began to judge this girl incorrectly, but judge her by her outfit, and I couldn't hear anything that she was saying to see if she was even qualified for the position. And so that speaks to the whole preparation, the
Mm-hmm.
beforehand, from your outfit to practicing how you're going to speak, to what you're going to say, to your professional presentation, which is lacking. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
people go outside today with a bonnet on, just, going to the grocery store like it's nothing, right? And we think, oh, that's cool. It's a style. But how do we prepare ourselves for the workforce today? Please drop some knowledge, because I'm like, what do I do about that Kool-Aid stain?
So you have an interesting story. Um, and when I was in Chicago working, I actually worked for a homeless residential um building. And that was one of the days, dressing for the interview. And I said, you guys are homeless. What are you gonna do?
Hmm.
Show me the best that you have. Don't ask for anything. Don't go out and buy anything. Dress the best way you can. Because regardless of if you're going to be extremely professional in your dress or extremely messy, you're going to be judged. That's just the harsh
Hmm.
reality of the moment, right? I had a guy, he came in the freshest pair of white shorts, white Air Force Ones, and a button-up shirt. And
Hmm.
he said, Angela, I pressed these shorts and pressed and pressed and pressed. He said, and I went and I got some white out and I went over my shoes.
Mm.
He was crisp. And I said, well,
Mm.
if that was the best that I applaud you.
Mhm.
I tell people if you have nothing at all, we're all black.
Mhm.
We're all black.
Mhm.
Have your things on a hanger. When you get there, can I use your restroom? I could change my clothes. Why are you
Mhm.
eating on your way to your interview?
Come on.
Unless you are popping a piece of gum in your mouth, why are you eating on the way to your interview? Because anything can happen.
That's good. Mhm.
That's the part of being prepared for anything. Anything
Mhm.
can happen. I don't
Yeah.
care if you are just wearing jeans. Anything can happen. Have an A, B, C, D, and E plan.
Yeah.
especially if you're going in for an interview, and especially if it is a job that you really, really want.
Yeah.
Be prepared for anything.
Yeah. I
But
had
like you
somebody show
said,
up.
if she had
Yeah.
a blouse, she could have took off that jacket
Yeah.
because
I had somebody
that's all
show
you
up
see.
like, what, 45 minutes late for an interview because they went to the wrong building. So again, on that preparation side, like studying the address, you might have to do a dry run,
You should do a
before.
dry run.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know where
Mm-hmm.
you're going.
Right. You don't know where you're going. And if you show up late, depending on who you have, no excuse is going to be good enough.
Let me tell you something. I don't care. Okay. But- And here's my thing, and this is why I say that. Um, I work a corporate job. Everybody knows where I work at, right? And we have one of the most laxed attendance policies. When I tell you, you can go to work at Amazon at 8 o'clock at 8:15, say, I don't want to do this today, and walk out and nobody will question you.
Wow.
However, don't come into work and be mad that you got fired because you have what we call negative UPT. So I don't play it when you come into here. I don't play the I went to the wrong building. I had somebody that came to their pre-hire appointment is what we call them. They came in an hour late. They were coming an hour away, the same distance I drove over to that warehouse. And they said, well, we went to the wrong location. And I said, how? I send you a text and an email when you scheduled it and you scheduled your appointment and the location. I send you a text and an email a week out, 3 days out, the day before, and the day of. I don't want to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we came an hour away, so did I. I will see you tomorrow if you so choose, and please be on time.
That's it. Well, at least you gave them another opportunity to
That's only
show
because it
up.
was open. Now, if I didn't
Yeah.
have any other days I was going to be there, you out of luck. Try
Yeah.
again. Apply again next weekend. You have a great day. And I'm going to say it with a smile on my face.
I love it. I love it. Because you don't
Especially,
have to be mean. Yeah,
we don't have to be mean, but especially if you are over the age of 21,
that
I
part.
expect you because at any other time, you're going to know where to pick up those Jordans. You know where
Yeah,
Beyonce is playing,
that's
right?
right. That's right.
Get your priorities together. Now, we'll
Get it
say if
together.
you're a little younger, if you're a teenager, things like that, I get it. You don't know. We're not teaching. I've done it before. My very first job over the summer, I thought I was going to, I was supposed to go to CDOT, the Chicago Department of Transportation. I said, oh, I know what that is. I went to CTA. It was the wrong company.
Wow.
That was on me. I was 14 years old.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
learned from there.
Yeah.
But 21 and up, I expect you to do better, baby.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. So share some things that you've seen, some things that you've come across that have you kind of like, hmm, people need to know or they need to do better.
They need to know what position they apply for.
Mm, come on.
Be intentional when you apply because I know what I'm interviewing you for. I need you to know what you're interviewing for. Know something about the company,
Mm-hmm.
okay? Um, know your information, okay? If I ask you what phone number is on your application and you say I don't know, I got a problem,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
And know yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm interviewing you. Tell me you. Show me you.
Yeah. Yeah, one of the biggest things I get is I don't like talking about myself. I don't like putting myself out there. And it's like, but that's the whole purpose of an interview. And I think people mistake talking about yourself with being arrogant. And you can
Hmm.
humbly speak about yourself. You don't have
Hmm.
to come across like a know-it-all or like you've got it all together just because you're
Hmm.
talking about yourself. And I think that's something that people miss is you can intelligently speak about yourself
Yes.
without sounding brash or harsh or like you've got it all together. And there's a
Right.
balance, right? But at the same time, don't
Definitely.
sound down on yourself either, right? Like be prepared to talk about your experiences, even if your experience doesn't align with a particular area, be prepared to talk about something that you've done that's comparable or those
Mhm.
skills that might be close to what you're doing. I mean, there's been people that I've been willing to hire who weren't like the consummate person for the
Mhm.
role because they were able to articulate, well, yes, I didn't do this. However, I did this thing over here and it matched or it can translate over into this thing over here. So, absolutely.
And that's that thing that we do in career coaching, and we talk about transferable skills. That
Hmm.
is a part of your practice for your interview. Know
Hmm.
thyself, know the job description, and know
Hmm.
how you fit into that. Um,
Yeah.
and like you said, it's a difference between being cocky and being confident. You know,
Hmm.
brag about yourself. I want
Hmm.
to know your accomplishments.
Hmm.
But at the same token, you remember people say you talk too much.
Yes.
You can
Yes.
talk yourself out of an interview.
Yes, you can.
And we use, I had a client that told me she used to look at her hand. And I said, why are you looking at your hand? She had stop on her hand.
Okay.
She said, because her friends told her she talked too much. So she put stop, states the one point.
Come on. I
And then,
like
and then
that.
she put at the bottom, she said, shut up, Veronica. And I was like, oh, okay. I said, oh,
Okay.
still that. State the one point
That's great.
when you're interviewing. Don't go off in a
Yeah.
tangent. I don't want to know that you were born in a one room shack in Willacoochee, Georgia to Verna Mae and Willie Mae. I,
Keep it to the point.
I asked you a question.
Direct.
Respond to the question.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, one of the things I've experienced as I'm recruiting and hiring and onboarding, and unfortunately firing as well, is people come kind of with the expectation that you're going to feed them the correct answers to what they're being asked. And it's like they can't handle the behavior based questions.
Mhm.
So if I
Mhm.
say to you, tell me about three of your strengths, people start rattling off those same three strengths that they've heard everybody else say or they've Googled. But when you say, describe a time when
Mhm.
you
Mhm.
disagreed with your manager. And how did you handle that? And what was the outcome? It's almost like they're afraid to articulate it because then it's going to be, well, they're going to exclude me because I had a disagreement or the standard, oh, I've never disagreed with my manager. Oh, I've never had a problem with any of my coworkers. Life has been great. I'm like, okay, but that's not honest.
Mm-mm.
So you need to be able to answer those behavior-based questions. Why do those trip people up so much? What do you think?
I think because in education, we've gotten away from writing. So when you think about what you're looking for in that answer, right? You fed them exactly what you want to know. You said, what is the situation? What did you do? And what was the outcome, right? We're using the STAR method. We're using the situation, task, actions, and results. That's an essay when it comes to people now. Oh, I have to talk and I have to speak in length. I have to speak complete sentences. It's not a yes or no. I have to think about it. We don't do that anymore. Like you said, we use AI for everything, right? So we don't know how to articulate in long form. We
Hmm.
know short things, and that is intimidating to have to articulate in long form, right?
Hmm.
We don't have communication classes anymore.
Oof,
We
Lord
don't
have
have to
mercy.
do different types of speeches anymore, right? So we don't know how to answer things like that. And then, like you said, we don't want to come off as combative, as ever having a disagreement, as ever having not to get along with somebody when we know there is somebody at everybody's job that gets on your nerves.
Hmm.
You just don't say it and you know how to deal with it. When at the end of the day, we want to know, and the trick is to end on the upswing.
Hmm.
Okay. I have somebody at my job I couldn't stand. stand. And I mean, every time I had to go to that office, I would call my friends and go pray for me because we gonna get the blows, right? I had one point, she came down to my office, right? This is my territory. She came down to my office and I was talking to my staff and I said, "Hey, you guys, if you're having a bad day, tap me and I will tap you out and I will take care of it. Take a 5 minute break, take a breather, take a walk, go get some snacks and come back." Because we have those days. And she went, "Well, if you're doing that, then you're going to put more work on." And I said, "I understand. Hey, so let's talk about this and talk about um, how we bleed on other people, right?"
Mm.
And I gave her a couple of situations and I tied it back to some things that she would understand, like our survey scores. And at the end, when I showed her these situations and we talked about some of these things, I went, that person was having a bad day that day. You see how their survey score was? Now, how could we change that? And now she's like, "Hey, um, I'm not feeling well right now. Can you help me?" Sure, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And now we understand each other. And she's like, "Hey, if you guys need to tap out, just let me know." Boom.
Mm-hmm.
And now what did I just do? I just gave you a situation, task, the actions, and the results. Bam.
Mm-hmm.
People
And
can't do that
did.
anymore.
And did. Broke it down like a fraction. But that's what we need. We need to go into an interview understanding that you may be asked about your previous roles. What were some of the teams that you were a part of that were successful and were not? What were some interactions that you had that weren't successful? How did you handle it? What was the
Right.
outcome? You need to be able to talk about, your work. Like when did you make a mistake and how did you own up to it? How did you handle it? And it's okay. Like people
It's
are looking for
okay.
honesty and authenticity. They need to know that you aren't feeling like I have to be perfect, but at the same time, I'm going to be responsible and take
Right.
responsibility for what I do and what I don't do.
Own up to
Um,
your mistakes.
Own up to your mistakes. That's what people want. And so, like you said, something that you said initially that really stood out was know the role that you're applying for. I cannot tell you how many people just apply, apply, apply. Some of that, and people have brought it to my attention, even if people are unemployed, the way that our unemployment system works is you have to apply for so many positions per week. You have to send that into the unemployment office to prove that you've been applying for jobs. And so people are applying for stuff that they're not even qualified or eligible for. And so then when they start going on these interviews, it's like, I'm just looking for a job. And it's like, but why not look for something that is more aligned with who you are and what your skills are? I get it. There are times in life when we do what we have to do because we
Hmm.
have to do it. But most of the time, we should be looking for something that will pull us into the place where we are best aligned and where our gifts and our talents can best be used. Our young people, when I look at the fact that many of them cannot even fill out an application, they don't know their zip code, they don't know their social security number. I mean, it's amazing to me. And I'm like, parents, where are you? Do you understand your babies don't have bank accounts? You have not taught them how to manage money. And
Hmm.
so when they do, if they get a job, a summer job, and they start getting paid, do they understand what they need to be doing? That they need to be putting something aside for school, for savings, whatever, or are they just blowing their whole check on everything that, they can? And so I'm looking at even how do we take this concept of preparation and translate it over to our youth? How do we get them to be in a space of being prepared, even though, yes, they're still in school. But even as we talk about curriculum, like some of the stuff that we're teaching in school, how do we get our kids ready to be in this workforce? I mean, I get it. People are using AI, but I can tell when that resume is AI and it's
Hmm.
not you. I can
Hmm.
tell, especially when I meet you face to face.
Hmm.
I can tell. And
Hmm.
this is something that we need to be, getting the message out about is AI is great, but it's not the complete answer.
Hmm.
It's not you. Your resume needs to have you. Your cover letter. Oh God, let's talk about people not turning in cover letters. The cover letter, it needs to represent you. You know, how do we teach our young people? How do we teach people in general just how to show up, in these spaces?
The easiest thing is to search your nearest work source or American Job Center. Sign up for any and every program that they may have and get you a career coach
Mm,
that's
that's
going to
good.
show you how to do a resume. And if they have the right contract, then those career coaches are certified professional resume writers. And they're going to prep you for that interview. I mean, you can pay for these services as well, but
Mhm,
get you into some services that your city offers. You can get prepared for an interview just by speaking out loud.
mhm,
Answer some of those standard questions that everybody asks. Tell us about yourself. What's
mhm,
your weaknesses? What's your strengths? Why should we hire you?
mhm.
Why are you leaving your job or why did you leave your past job? Practice those until it becomes second nature and you don't sound like a robot.
Yeah.
Practice them in front of someone who can
Yes.
catch your mistakes. Practice
Yes.
them in the mirror so you can
Hmm.
see your facial expressions.
Yes.
Because I know outside of interviewing and things like that in meetings, my facial expressions are horrible.
You got your friends
Okay.
inboxing, girl.
Listen, I was kicked out of a meeting and told only to participate virtually because my facial expressions told it all. But but practice in front of a mirror.
Yes.
If you want to use AI, find a software that will
Hmm.
interview you. We used to
Hmm.
have a software over on the East Coast that would interview you. We would put in the type of industry, and the lady will pop up and ask you questions. It would record your
Wow.
answers, and it would record the amount of times that you went,
Wow.
because that's what I hear all the time. Slow
Hmm.
down. Slow down
Hmm.
while you're speaking. All the
Hmm.
likes is, like. No, I don't know. That's why I'm asking you. Um, and practice.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Practice.
Just practice.
Wow.
Get those, and even if you've never had a disagreement, baby, make up one. Pretend like you're in a game. Make up one. Make you a
She said,
story.
find you one.
Find you one. Now, don't make it real outlandish. I was chasing a giraffe down the highway and things like that. Make it believable
Yeah.
and tell a story. We don't know. At the end
But
of the day, we don't know.
that's true. But there have been times when people have silently disagreed and they haven't said anything, and
Tell
that can
us.
even be a point, right? Like there was a time they implemented a policy and I just was like, this is crazy. And I didn't think it would work and I didn't think it would be effective, and I should have said something, but I didn't feel comfortable speaking up. But this is how it turned out, and this is how I navigated that situation. Just being prepared,
And that's your star story.
that's it. That's it.
Perfect.
Okay, so help me with this because you are the expert. You got to help me with this. Why are so many people no calling, no showing for interviews? Now, mind you, listen, we send the text, as you said earlier. We're sending the email. I'm doing the reminder call. Hey, we have an interview tomorrow at such and such a time. You still on? Oh, yes, I'll be there.
Now let me take a sip of my water. This is
Listen. And I interview off-site, meaning outside of my office. I interview at another location on our campus, not too far away, but it's just the inconvenience of I could be at my desk working. And so many times I will opt for that first interview to be virtual, just so that I can see the person, I can see if they came on professionally, how they present. And then the second interview we'll do in person, and that will be the point at which I will determine if I'm going to hire you before you leave. the building. Some people are a fan of that, some people aren't, and I get it. There's different arguments for and against. But when I tell you last year, I probably had maybe 30% of people show up for in-person interviews. What is going on?
They
Help a
don't want
sister out.
they don't want to work. I don't like you said, I don't understand. We give you everything you need, right? Um and I'm very frustrated because in my position, you tell me what day and time you're coming based off of what I have available and you still don't show up.
So they give you a day and a time.
Listen, you can pick when you apply, I call it the trap. When you apply at the trap, it says we have these days available and these times available. Pick one based off of what you got going on in your personal life and you still don't show. And I'm driving, all of my sites are at least an hour away
Mm,
and you don't show up.
mm,
I literally have somebody that is scheduled on Monday. This is his third, no, fourth time scheduling. The other three times he didn't show up. If you don't show up on Monday,
mm,
I am
mm,
calling you.
mm,
They don't want to work. I
mm,
don't get it. I
mm.
don't get it. I'm
I don't.
not, um,
Mm,
the days of excuses are over,
mm,
right?
mm,
But at the same time, these jobs have become so laxed. Why in the world can you apply at this place here, this A to Z place, and you can do a no call, no show for all the days of your life? And it doesn't matter. There used to be a time where I worked for People Scout. We did third party recruiting for Fortune 500 companies. Okay. Peapod, I don't know if you remember Peapod.
mm.
So they did like the food delivery services like
Okay.
Swan and stuff like that.
Okay. Okay.
Peapod and Wells Fargo, you could not reschedule
Hmm.
and you could not be late by any means. If you wanted to reschedule, you had to wait 365 days.
Wow.
I had a person call and say they were just in an accident 5 blocks away from Wells Fargo. I said, "Is your car damaged?" She said, "A little bit." I said, "Can you drive it?" No. Okay, well, I'm sorry to tell you, but here's your options. You could reapply in 365 days or baby run because you got 10 minutes to get
Wow.
to that interview.
Wow.
We have become too relaxed and people take advantage of it,
Yeah.
right? And the people that are entering the workforce are younger and younger.
Hmm.
They don't know no better. They don't have no standards. Nobody has ever held them accountable.
Hmm.
So they just don't show.
Hmm.
They have all these excuses. I was asleep. I
Hmm.
overslept. I had nothing to wear. I had no transportation. Well, baby, you knew you had this coming up.
Right. And I spoke to you yesterday, and you assured me that you are coming, all is well. And now today, here we are, and you're not here, and my time has been
Mm,
wasted.
exactly.
And that's frustrating.
Hmm.
That's
Very,
frustrating.
very.
Yeah, I mean, it's just how do we get people to understand the importance of even your brand? Because you never know when there's going to be another time that another
Exactly.
position within the same company is of interest to you. Because I've had people who have left our organization and they want to come back. It's like, oh, you guys, were great, or, I liked working for you, or I had the opportunity to come and work for you and I didn't take it. And now I see something else that I'm interested in. And I'm like, because I'm petty. I'm like, oh,
Uh-huh.
the same one that didn't show up. Oh, or
Hmm.
you came 30 minutes late. Oh, and you
Hmm.
need a job now. Interesting. And
Hmm.
it's so frustrating. Like you have branded yourself as someone who's not trustworthy. You're not reliable. You can't show
Hmm.
up for your interview on time. So I know you ain't coming to work on time.
Exactly. If you cannot show up here, you're not going to be able to show up there.
Mm-mm.
And then they're going to look at me and say, "What were you thinking?"
Mm-hmm.
Because when I sign off and give you this offer letter, that's my name on it.
That's right. That's your endorsement.
And I used to do the same thing at the American Job Centers. You're late. You're late to show up for free services.
Free,
And you want me to speak with
free,
the businesses that I'm working with
free.
that are holding positions for me. You want me
Mm-hmm.
to put you over there? No, so they can say, Angela, this person is always late. Were they late coming to see you? And I'm like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
mm-mm, I'm not
Mm-hmm.
gonna put my name on it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So what I'm hearing is research the organization that you are planning to apply for. Make sure you're clear on the job description for the role that you're going to apply for. Research the location, do a dry run to get there if you're not clear on where it's at. Make sure you're on time, if not early, for your interview. Practice those interview questions that are standard, and then get you a good coach to help you to prepare, get in the mirror, start, quizzing yourself, get used to talking about yourself, talking about your accomplishments. Have some scenarios in mind of different places that you work and different experiences that you've had and different teams that you've been a part of. That's a part of the practice piece. And then your professional presentation is everything because you only have one opportunity or as a first time. Your first time is your one opportunity to
Hmm.
show me who you are. And unfortunately, if like that young lady who had the Kool-Aid stain on her outfit, if that's my first impression of you, it's hard for me to get past that because whatever I see in that first, 7 minutes of our interaction, it's really telling me a lot about who I think you are. And so, giving me that eye contact, even giving me a smile, even showing me that you're excited about being there, not overly, crazy, but just
Right.
like, hey, I'm happy to be here. Nice to meet you. All those things go a long way
Hmm.
toward branding yourself and making yourself look like a professional. So we have now a very unique situation in our country. We have a lot of people who have been displaced due to the closing of several federally funded programs like Job Corps, like AmeriCorps. People are getting cut off of some of their benefits and some of the programs that were there to help them. And so we're going to have a lot of different type of people entering the workforce, people of all ages, people of all abilities
Hmm.
entering the workforce. And I think it's critical for them to understand that your age is not a barrier.
No,
Your disability or disadvantage is not a barrier.
no.
Even as you were talking about earlier, your homelessness, it's not a barrier. It's all about being the best version of yourself,
Hmm.
and presenting yourself a certain way when you go in to find a job. Do you have any advice for people who, are re-entering the workforce? This is their first time, maybe in 15, 20 years, having to find work, or, maybe this is a situation where they were thinking, I'm going to have this same job until I retire, and now that's not the case. And now here I am, my age, I'm 54, or somebody that's 60 or 65, and they're like, oh, I have to go back into the workforce. What kinds of things should they prepare for? What are some things that we can do for them to help them?
I think the best thing is what you just said. Understand that these different things about you are not necessarily barriers for you, right? Um, I was just talking to one of my good friends about this. He said, I've been looking for work for the past couple of months and I'm just not getting the job. I think it's my age. I said, no, it's not. The truth of the matter, the hard truth is that it sucks out there right now. It sucks, right? One of those hard truths as well is that regardless of how much we have confidence in everybody else, you are being judged. It's unfortunately, but you are being judged. Show
Mhm,
up as your best self.
mhm,
Practice your interview that aligns with that job
mhm,
and apply for the jobs that you want.
mhm,
Unless you are seriously desperate,
mhm,
apply for the ones that you want because you're going to put more effort into it.
mhm,
Now, if you're not getting those, go a step down. Still in the same industry, go a step down. Sometimes you got to go back down to get
mhm.
back up,
To get back up.
right?
Mhm,
I was making some good money when I was younger. I got knocked down to $10 an hour, and I took a gut punch to the stomach. But I
Mm-hmm.
had to do what I had to do. I went into the same industry. I worked
Mm-hmm.
my butt off, and then I bumped up some more, and
Mm-hmm.
still going up some more. But know that it's okay sometimes to have a take a step back, right?
Mm-hmm.
Be prepared for those technology questions.
Mm-hmm.
Be prepared to be up to date on things, right? Because and understand that as a older person going back into the workforce, you have some qualities that I'm looking for. You know how to
Absolutely.
answer a phone and say
Absolutely.
hello. You know
Mm-hmm.
how to be on time. You know how to
Yes.
be polite,
Yes.
right? You're going to ask those questions.
Yes.
You have the qualities. I'm sorry, these younger kids, and I can say younger kids because I'm 40 now, so I feel like I can say
You can
these
say it
younger
now.
kids, right? These younger kids don't know how to dress. They don't know how to take responsibility. They don't know how to ask questions. They don't know how to research unless it's what they want. Unless it's something
Mm-hmm.
outside of the job, they'll research. But the older generation, I love
Yes.
because you know how to work. You know how to
Absolutely.
work. The one thing that people say all day that I can't stand is, and I see it on social media. One person put when your PTO has been denied, but you are already on the plane. And you say PTO stands for prepare the others. Well, I am going to prepare the other, and that other will be in your desk when you get back.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I
Okay.
love it.
The
Yes.
older generation, they know how to say, hey, I want to take this vacation. Let me put in my PTO
Mm-hmm.
before I pay for my vacation. Now, yes, you are entitled to your vacation, baby. I totally get it.
Yes.
But don't just go and be like, whatever they do, they do. Because now you're going to come back and somebody else is in your desk.
That's it.
And then
That's
you're
it.
going to ask for unemployment. And then I'm going to fight it
Yeah. Absolutely.
because you were no call, no show.
And stop putting your stuff on social media, please and thank you. Stop putting your stuff on social media. You out here um telling the people on social media like nobody's watching, and them coworkers that you think are your friends will be the first ones to snitch you out. Okay? You out here, yeah. I'm about to take this, people who actually have legitimate FMLA who aren't using it. And then there's others who are like, well, I'm going, go to my doctor and play this game, right? And then I'm going to tell my employer that this is happening when in actuality, I'm chilling, right? Over here, or what I call calling off slick. Not sick, calling off slick, right? Trying to get away with something. And then you put it on social media
I
for
I
the
think
world to see.
I think we could do a whole 2 hours on retaining a job.
Listen,
On
listen,
retaining a job.
listen.
Yeah.
Just be integral.
Yeah.
Like you said, plan. It's cool to take your vacation. We want you to take your vacation. We want you to be replenished. We don't want you to be working and you're just dog tired or you've given out. But be planful, be mindful of others, treat other people with the same respect that you want to be treated with.
And
Because
then
one day you might be the boss.
yeah. And that comes with your interview. Ask these questions. How does your PTO work? What does your benefit package look like? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Understand the difference between a company that has set PTO and that has unlimited PTO.
Mm-hmm.
People get tripped up with that unlimited PTO,
Mm-hmm.
right? But like I said, that comes with prepping for your interview. And I just wanted to drop something in the chat. When prepping for your interview, there's a document out there called 65 Interview Questions and How to Answer Them.
I love it.
Read it.
I
It
love
even
it.
tells you about the illegal questions, right?
Okay.
And even when you get those illegal questions, you say, I'm not sure how this has anything to do with my ability to do the job,
There you go.
right? Use that document. It's free. It's a PDF. Print it out,
Thank
highlight
you.
it. It tells you the tricks to those questions, the best way to answer them, the worst way to answer them, all of those good things. People look at it.
That's awesome. And that's what we need. We need the questions so that we can practice
Mhm.
and be prepared. Wow.
We have some things in the chat.
Okay.
Um, Keela asks about cover letters. She said, I thought cover letters were obsolete and long resumes are not encouraged. Um, I don't like cover letters unless they are asked for.
Okay.
It goes back to that whole you talk too much because that cover letter is going to be the first thing that I read before your resume. The
hmm
cover letter gets me to look at your resume. Now, if your cover letter makes no sense, if your cover letter rambles on, if I have 1,500 people, if I have 200 people applying for 10 positions, I'm throwing yours in the trash because you're wasting my time. I didn't ask you for it. Now you cannot follow directions.
hmm
Okay. Um, Long resumes, is it relevant? Is it relevant? It's 2015. I don't need to know what you did in 1990.
That part,
Unless you've been working at that same job since 1990, which I will be so impressed. I don't need to
yeah,
know what you did
yeah,
in. Now, if you're applying for a government job and you need a government resume, government wants to know every single
everything.
thing you've done. It could be
Hmm
15 pages. They want it.
hmm
Um, and then that's a whole nother topic. We could talk about resumes for
Yeah,
hours. Um,
really. Yeah, really. I mean, for me, a good rule of thumb is like the last 10 years if you're an older person. I mean, that anything beyond that, like you said, it's just too much. I personally am a fan of the one pager, even if you have to do it in columns. But again, it depends. It depends on the role that the person's applying for. If
mhm,
it's a more of a director level position, I do expect a little bit more information.
mhm,
And so I will look for, your CVV or a couple pages of what you've
mhm.
done. Um, Another thing that it's a personal thing for me. It's not necessarily industry standard, but I like when people put their three references, professional references, include that with their resume. That's just a personal kind of a thing I enjoy.
See, I don't.
Uh, you don't like that?
I, what I want it
It
for.
seems presumptive to
And,
you.
and unless I am going to hire you, I will ask you and you wasting space. You're wasting space.
I think,
But you like you said,
again,
it's a personal
it's a
preference.
personal preference. And I think, again, it's with the position. So if it's a director level and above, any executive positions, I do like that kind of information,
Mhm,
just for an entry level position, not so much. I just, a one pager with specifics about what you've done and not just another thing I can't stand is a whole bunch of bullet points. Like, get to the point.
mhm,
What specifically have you done and what is the impact of that thing, whatever that thing is?
mhm.
Because when you have one job and 20 bullet points underneath it and another job with 20 bullet points, it's like, okay.
I'm not
And
reading
it
all of that.
sounds like a job description and not what you've done. That annoys me.
Yeah.
Like, what have you done? I know what the job description reads, but what have you actually done?
Like you said, show me an impact.
Yeah.
And just for some tips out there for anybody that's logged in, I've seen these people on TikTok that say, copy the job description, put it at the bottom of your resume, make it white. I can tell. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
It's annoying. It is annoying.
Now you're a liar. Now you're a
Yeah.
cheat. Now I
Yeah.
don't want you. Now you're on the no
Yeah.
block on the no hire list. Now I'm
Yeah.
telling all of my friends what you've done and to look out for this, right? So so don't do that. Don't do that.
Listen, I have received a multicolored resume
You received the Legally Blonde resume.
with hearts. No, Legally Blonde, it was just scented. This thing was multicolored, okay? With smiley faces and hearts and butterflies. I was like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Now, what's your take? I'm interested to hear your thoughts on the picture. How do you feel about pictures on resumes?
Unless you are going into the arts. So, again, we could talk about this for hours. There are two types of resumes: resume for the person and resume for the science. Okay. If you are submitting a resume online, you want nothing that is going to cause it to show up in the matrix, right?
Mhm.
We don't need pictures and stars and stripes forever and all these charts, right? But if you're going into something in the arts, you still don't need that on your resume. You're going to have a portfolio
Hmm.
that you're going to show. However, I did learn that in certain countries, they expect a picture on
Interesting.
your resume.
Interesting.
So it can come down to a cultural thing or where
Hmm.
they're from. But no.
Okay.
If it's something about a picture in your face that has to do with the job, then you bring in a portfolio.
That makes sense. That makes sense. I guess too, yeah, I'm one of those employers that will go to the Facebook page or the Instagram account
Oh, I'm
and
going to everything. I'm
I'm
nosy.
looking. Yeah. Because especially now my organization is a Christian organization. So, I'm hiring for a church. And so yeah, if I go on your Instagram and you tell me you're a Satanist or a witch, I'm sorry. Like I'm not gonna be able to go through with the interview.
And
Sorry.
at the same
Yeah.
time, the interviewee, I want you to be nosy. I want you to look up the company, look at all their pictures, look
Yeah.
at the person's LinkedIn that you're interviewing with, see where
Yeah.
they came from.
Yeah.
Because
And check out the reviews,
they may
right?
have been at the company forever, right? Check them out.
Check them
See
out.
if they've had your position before.
Mm-hmm.
That's where you can get your questions. Because if I say if you have any questions, and you go no, you're not interested, right? Like I
Mm-hmm.
said, check out the reviews.
Mm-hmm.
People are telling the truth now.
Mm-hmm.
Check it out.
Yeah.
Glassdoor,
Yes.
places like that will have people can put the interview questions that they've been asked.
Mm-hmm.
So now that's part of your preparation. Be
Mm-hmm.
nosy
Yeah. Look at the
because
employee reviews on Google and
yeah,
other
the
places.
le-
Find out what people are saying.
and I'm a person's person. And the last thing I want to do is show up and be shocked.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know exactly what you look like, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because as a person that does interviews, when I was doing interviews with other companies, Um, I would walk out and I would kind of like walk around to see if that person is sitting there.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know who I am. But if you were
Right.
nosy, then you'd be like, okay, I know
Mm-hmm.
who that person is.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to be nosy.
Mm-hmm.
Be as nosy as you can. Look at some of the employees' Facebooks and LinkedIn's, things like that. You can get an idea of the company culture. You can get an idea of the dress code, things like that. And can we talk about this dress code thing?
Please.
This is part of
Please.
your preparation, right?
Please.
Uh, oh,
Please.
Dianca made a great point. She said the company may want you, but do you want them is the question. Okay. So
Because
this is a
yes.
two-way interview.
Yes, absolutely. Because you don't want to be somewhere where you have to be somebody other than yourself to succeed within the role.
hmm So ask those questions.
Hmm.
What's the company culture? How do you celebrate a work-life balance? How are you as a
Oh,
manager,
yeah.
right? Um, Ask, what is the dress code policy? It's it's this girl on TikTok. She was mad because they told her that her tennis shoes were not professional, and she had to go to the store and get her some ballet flats, and she called them, I guess they call them lemon pepper steppers. I never got that, and she was mad, and she was like, "Well, this is your time to quit your job, and I'm not going to a company where you're going to tell me to dress, and I should put in my 2 weeks notice." If they tell you, if you would have asked those questions, what's the dress code like around here? You would have known.
Mm-hmm.
You would have known. And it's to say, well, I'm going to put in my 2 weeks notice. I would have let you go. I will help you out, baby.
Yeah.
You ain't even got to put in 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
There are companies that allow things like that, and there are companies that just don't care. I worked
That's
for a
right.
company. The first thing they said dress code. There is no dress down Friday. They said,
Okay.
don't ask. It won't happen. It's
Mm-hmm.
not going to happen. They said, ladies, there are no flat shoes unless you have a doctor's note, and your heel must be at least 2 inches. The lady said, you must have on stockings. And she went around and would pop your lid to make sure you had on stockings,
Wow.
right? Um, Dressing
Wow.
for your interview. Let's talk about that. Dressing for that interview.
Whew.
People say dress according to the industry, right? Um, they wear whatever they want over there. However, when you come over here, I don't want to see your midriff. I don't want to see your butt. I don't want to see your top.
Period.
Okay. I tell people dress for the job that you want, not the job that you're going for.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We want to stop at a tuxedo. I don't want to see you at a tuxedo, but dress appropriately. If you have to
That's right.
question what you have on for the interview, take it off and put on something else.
That's it. That's it. That's why I said I'm old school. I go conservative to a job interview. If I have on a pair of pants, I have on heels and a blouse. I'll put on a suit, okay, a blouse, some heels, some stocking. Like I go conservative because again, this may not be that industry, but I want you to see that I value myself as a professional. And so that's how I'm coming. I've gone to interviews dressed that way, and people will be looking at me like, and I'm like, well, this is not where I need to work. If
Hmm.
you think I'm strange for coming into an interview professionally dressed, then
Right.
this is not the work culture for me.
Right.
And you need to know that. I'm with you. I don't want to see midriffs. I don't want to see tank tops, spaghetti straps. I don't even want to see your torn jeans. I'm not interested.
No.
Immediately, I'm like, mm-mm.
Now you can show some individuality. Right? Get your colored shirt. You can have a colored
Mm-hmm.
shirt. Men, get you some of those pattern argyle socks. I love them.
Mm-hmm.
Have your handkerchief of color. Do a pop of color. You know, show some. And you don't have to be in all black. You don't
Right.
have to be in all navy blue or brown,
Mm-hmm.
things like that. Men, I don't want to see your ankles.
Mm-hmm.
These high waters. Unlearn how to. Everybody should have a good tailored suit. I don't want to see the Michael Jackson pants.
She said no skinny jeans, please,
No,
and
no
thank you.
skinny jeans, right? Like you said, no ripped jeans, right? There are time and place. They're cute. There's time and place for those, but not at your interview.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Ladies, I don't want to see, like we talked about earlier, the colored hair, the red, blues, greens.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to see like a fiery red, right? Um, if you got tattoos, I don't want to see that you got a devil right here on your neck. I just don't. Cover it up or wear a turtleneck. I'm gonna look
Mm-hmm.
at you strange. You got a turtleneck in the Pacific Northwest in the desert, um, in August, but I respect it.
But you respect it.
I respect it, right?
Yeah.
Um, but it comes along with your research. Ask around. What's the dress code? Find somebody who just worked there. Hey, what did you wear to your interview? Right? I understand it may be things like a daycare, things like that. Um, but I don't want to see your your body contrast at the daycare.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, because kids are curious and they're gonna ask you what's that and what's back
And that'll
there.
be the person that'll get offended
Exactly.
because somebody asked you why you got the devil tattooed on your neck.
Understand the difference between business professional, business
Mm-hmm.
casual, and something that you
Mm-hmm.
should just keep at home.
Keep it the house.
It is so many examples out there that
Yeah.
you can look at. And
Yeah.
it could be the difference of one piece of clothing. The difference could be a tie. The difference could be a button-up shirt versus a polo,
Mm-hmm.
right? Your skirts versus a long tunic with some leggings or some jeggings,
Right.
right? Look at those community resources that you may have that have like clothing closets,
Yeah.
especially in bigger cities. You
Yeah.
have clothing closets for interviews as long as you show that you have an interview.
Yeah. We have Dress for Success here in Pittsburgh.
Exactly. Yep. We had that on the
Yeah.
East Coast. Show
Yeah.
that you got an interview, and they're going to help you with those other things as well.
Absolutely. Keep your jewelry to a minimum, ladies.
Keep your
We don't
jewelry
need
to a
to have
minimum.
on our bamboo earrings with our name in them for our interview. We don't need to do.
Now, I
I
love
do too. I love my
mine,
big hoops,
right?
but I'm not going to wear them for my
I'm
interview.
not gonna wear the ones that's down here. I got some that's down here. I'm gonna put on my little studs. I may do a little hanging,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Get you something that's just simple.
Simple and modest. Yeah. And I don't want to see, I mean, again, a little old school, but when you're going on an interview, your skirt shouldn't be so short that you're seated and you have to keep pulling it down. It
What
should
happened?
be, yeah, no.
What happened to fingertip length
Yeah.
or longer?
Yeah. Yeah. That middle finger, when you stand up,
Exactly.
wherever that middle finger, you have your hands at your side, wherever that middle finger lands, that's it. That's where that tip should be. That skirt shouldn't be no higher than where your finger lands. And it
Can I
might be a
tell you
good idea to have it a little lower.
a little? Because when you sit down, it's gonna rise up a
Because
little.
when you sit down, it's going to rise up.
Now, can I tell you? I understand that we are so lax over here. That the dress code over here is nothing too loose, nothing too baggy, nothing offensive. Be comfortable, but be appropriate. And I tell people, I don't care if you wear a onesie as long as it won't get caught up in a machine. However, I had a girl show up in a bikini top. I sent her home.
Mm-hmm.
I sent her home. I said, I understand. I said, but it is distracting.
Mm-hmm.
It is distracting to the other candidates that I have in the office to have on a bikini top. Do you have anything to cover up? And if you don't, I'm going to go in my back closet. I'm going to give you an Amazon t-shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Dianca says, please wear appropriate undergarments.
Oh,
Or
yes,
please wear
Lord.
undergarments. Thank you. Please wear undergarments. First of all,
You said let's start there. Make sure you have undergarments
make
on.
make sure you
Yes,
have make sure you have some,
please and thank
right?
you.
Um, but like we said, if it's a situation where you don't have them,
Mm-hmm.
but don't use that as an excuse not to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Ladies, be
Mm-hmm.
ladies.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we've gotten away from that as this younger generation. These girls
Yeah.
ain't girls. These girls are
Yeah.
not girls, right?
Yeah.
But we don't. My old first lady, Mother Alice, God rest her soul. She would say, "I don't want to see you wiggling and jiggling."
Like jelly.
Okay. We
Listen,
we want to
I
see that.
got one word, but I'm gonna split it up into two words for the people. Shaper Mint, okay? Shapermint.com, okay? It will pull everything together so you ain't wiggling, you ain't jiggling. Listen, slips are still appropriate.
Wear a slip. Please wear a slip.
I grew up, my grandmother was a state mother in the Church of God in Christ. My grandma made slips for my baby dolls. Okay. It was serious. Barbie had to have on a slip. I'm like, Grandma, ain't nobody seeing Barbie but me. Grandma said, that baby need a slip on.
Listen,
Okay.
listen. I asked
She
my
made
husband.
slips for every one of my baby alive. The baby that used to spin and dance, she had to have a slip on. Mother wasn't playing, okay?
Listen, the other day we were leaving the house and I looked at my mama. I said, "You need a slip." And my mom said, "It is 100 degrees outside. I'm not wearing no slip." I said, "Well, you need to change your clothes, baby. Where's your slip?"
If I
They
can
don't
see
they don't
through,
know what those are anymore.
if I can see straight through your outfit, if I can see straight through and I can see your brassiere ladies underneath your top, your white
Ladies,
top, you need
ladies,
a camisole or a slip.
ladies, you need a black bra under that white shirt.
Come on here.
Not a white bra.
Come on.
Not a pattern bra.
Come on.
Not a polka dot bra.
Black.
Black, please. The same
And if
thing
your
with
outfit
color.
is see-through, you still need to put some on underneath it. You need a camisole. You need a half slip, just the
Yeah,
top part.
half. Same thing with gentlemen, your white shirt. If you wearing a t-shirt underneath it, it needs to be black, not white. I should not know that you have on one underneath because I can see
You
it.
can see it.
Gentlemen, they also have compression shirts
Yes, they do.
for that belly if you
Yes,
want
they
it.
do. Yes, they
If you
do.
want it. And please understand the difference between shirts and outfits that need to be tucked in and
Mm-hmm.
not tucked in.
Mm-hmm.
Get you a good belt,
Mm-hmm.
get you a good shirt, get you a good pair of slacks.
And if you can't afford shoe shine materials, Vaseline will work just as well. Shine your shoes. Gentlemen, clean up underneath those nails. You don't have to go get a manicure, but clean up underneath your nails. Even if you're applying for a heavy work position, come presentable, come clean, come
You don't
smelling good,
you don't have to come straight from work.
Right.
We
That's right.
understand you may have other jobs. And a lot of people do that here. They're like, "Oh, I work out at such and such." Did you just come from there? Because you got on your work boots and your work
Mm-hmm.
clothes. Go home
Mm-hmm.
and change.
Go home and change. And take a shower. Please take a shower.
It's too
Wait,
hot.
please.
It's too hot to be funky at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Wash with soap and water. Please.
And thank you.
Because listen, if I'm in an interview and I'm like this the whole time, you ain't getting hired, boo. We're gonna cut the interview short and I'm not hiring you because you smell. Sorry.
Miss Mary, I worked for Miss Mary, and she was real strict on her interviews. She had no piece of paper. She had no pen. This was back when it really wasn't like iPads and things like that to take notes. You knew if you got the job depending on how long your interview was. Because you just stop asking questions. 20 minutes, you didn't get it. 30 minutes, she liked you.
Mhm.
So that's another thing to look for. What I used to do, everybody in the office knew if I was going to hire that person. I had a corner office all the way in the back. And if I liked you, wait, sorry, if I didn't like you, you went straight to the front and I walked you out. If I liked you, I
Mm-hmm.
walked you around the office. I interviewed you. I just introduced you to everybody, introduced you to the front person. They knew, oh, you like that person. Yeah, go ahead and process them.
Mm-hmm.
So pay attention to the body language
Yeah.
um, that the interviewer is giving you, right? Pay attention to those words. Oh, the position that you are, or okay, what you're going to be doing, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and what I always tell people, ask those questions. Hey, is there anything that you think would hinder you from hiring me?
Mm-hmm.
Ask for some feedback.
Mm-hmm.
Use it for the next one. Right? If they
Mm-hmm.
don't give you feedback, or they say we don't give feedback, maybe you dodged a bullet.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think what you were saying about even walking people around the office, that's why I think it's good for people to show up for interviews early because you have a minute to sit kind of in a waiting area and you can kind of observe the company culture as people are coming in and out. Like you said, what do they have on? How does the receptionist speak to people? Are you seeing any behaviors that are like, red flags? Do you got to get a sense? I sat in a waiting area. I was like 15 minutes early for an interview, sat in a waiting area, and I noticed there were no people of color in this particular office at all. I mean, not one. And even as I'm sitting there's people walking by and are kind of like side-eyeing me, like, who are you and why are you here? And that was immediate, like, oh, I don't want this job. I thought I did, I looked at it. I did my what I thought was research, but obviously it wasn't enough because to see how people were even looking at me as they were walking through the office, I was like, mm-mm.
Mhm.
But
And,
had I
and
showed up late or on time, I would have missed those cues.
and look at the receptionist. I tell
Hmm.
people the most powerful person in that office is not the director, it's that receptionist.
Hmm.
She or he knows everything that goes on in that office, knows
Hmm.
everybody in that office,
Hmm.
sees everybody, like you said, coming in and out, sitting there. They have the keys to everything. I tell
Hmm.
people the receptionist and a janitor are the two people that you need to respect and you need to look at.
Absolutely.
Heck, ask the receptionist some questions while you're sitting there because you got there early.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
They need you just like you need them.
Absolutely.
Is this a good space for you? Is
Yeah.
this a good environment for you? Will you
Hmm.
fit?
Hmm. One of the most powerful interview questions that I actually learned from my brother to ask an employer is, what problem do you have that you foresee me solving in this organization? Like, what is the need? What is the real issue that you have, even as to why this position has been created? Because it could be somebody vacated, it could be somebody
Hmm.
retired, somebody left. But what is the need? What is the issue that's going to be solved by me being here?
Hmm.
And if somebody's not able to articulate that, that's a good sign that they're not even
Hmm.
clear themselves
Hmm.
on why they're hiring or what they're looking
Yeah,
for. And you definitely want to be in a place where you feel like you can fit or you can make a
yeah.
difference.
And before you meet in person or do a virtual interview, do not allow them to send you a written interview. A lot of jobs will say, "Hey, how would you solve this situation? Can you send us a presentation?"
Mm,
And then they never hire you because you just solved the problem for them for free.
mm, mm-hmm,
You've done it for free.
mm-hmm.
Now, I have had to do presentations where it says, okay, what is your 30, 60, 90-day plan? Put it in a video. That's different.
Wow. Okay.
But never, hey, this is the scenario, this is the
Mm-hmm,
issue. How do you go about resolving it? Mm-mm.
mm-hmm.
Am I being compensated
I know,
for this?
sister. I know that's right.
Is this a current
I
interv
know
is
that's
this a
right.
current issue
Is
that's
it a
going
current
on within
issue?
your company? Is this an
Current.
issue that you foresee happening? Because
Yeah,
ultimately, at the end of the day, you need to be compensated for your time.
absolutely.
And I've seen it too many times that people have solved these issues, have created these apps, have done this programming, and
Mm-hmm.
did not get the job. But then the company says, hey, we got this new initiative coming out.
Somebody else's idea. Wow.
When I tell you I watermark everything I see in someone,
I know that's right. I know
before I,
that's right.
before I left one job in Chicago, they said, well, can you send me your PowerPoint presentation and your curriculum? I can. I watermarked it. And when I sent it from my business email and I
Mm-hmm.
put in there that accepting this email, you understand that this is proprietary information
Come
from Angela
on.
Vernell from the Career Stone Experience, and it is not to be used
Come on, sis.
without
Come
executive permission
on.
from me.
Come on. That's how you do it.
So don't get taken advantage of because you are
Mm-hmm.
interviewing for a position
Mm-hmm.
that goes back to knowing yourself,
Knowing
know
yourself.
your worth.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow. This is some good stuff. This is meat right here. I don't know if y'all came on for milk on tonight, but this is meat. My sister has been dropping the science, the knowledge, the information. I hope you all have been taking notes. I hope you all are telling your friends, and I hope that if you missed any of this, that you will go back and you will check out the replay. Because I mean, this is some good information. This is some information that everybody, all the people need. Please share this with our young people. Please share this with as many people as you possibly can because we really are out here trying to help people. Get
Mhm,
it together. You need to have an inroad into whatever position that you would like to have, whatever job you're trying to get, whatever role, career you're trying to find yourself in, you need to have some understanding. And just from our time, this afternoon, this evening, wherever you're watching from, I just can tell that there's just so much more that you have to say to the people, sister. I mean, you have really, really bore your heart tonight, and I'm hoping that people are hearing like these are some things that I need to work on. Like I'm being honest with myself. I'm looking at myself as a person that's applying for roles, that's trying to be a professional. And these are some areas that I need to improve. And I hope that people have caught that, that they're listening and they're taking notes. Please, anything else that you would like to share with the people tonight?
mhm. There is nothing wrong with seeking out a mentor who has had great tenure in your industry. Okay. Get you a good mentor. Get you
Hmm.
one that's really going to be open with you. And I tell my people, don't be afraid to get a mentor from them people.
Okay.
Okay. Because you're going to find that there are a lot of us that don't want to see us succeed. Okay. But it's a lot of our others that's going to give you all the information. Ladies, do not be afraid to seek out a male mentor, and men, do not be afraid to seek out a female mentor. When I tell you I did not find a mentor until 2021, where I had a guy interview me for a position. I did not get it. It was a promotion. And he said, I want to talk to you. Come to my office downtown. I want to talk to you and let you know why I did not give it to you. He said, because you're so much better than that. He said, you would have been stuck in that position. You would have been miserable. He said, but I would like to mentor you. He showed me so many things that I was like, he put me on so many different projects, which boost my resume, which boost my star stories, which gave me a good reference. And even now, he knows that I'm not in Chicago anymore. He's like, hey, would you come back for this position? Would you come back for this position?
Wow.
Seek you out some help.
Hmm.
Because once you do great interviews at companies that you want and you get in there, your reputation follows you.
Hmm.
Go for it. Definitely go for it. Practice, practice, practice. I still practice. When I interviewed for the position I have now, I was so nervous.
Wow.
And I did a self-recorded interview. So I didn't even sit in front of anybody. I read questions, I pressed play, I answered them, and I submitted it. And then my boss looked at it. I was nervous. I'm sweating. I'm wiping off. I'm taking breaks in between. But when you practice, it becomes natural.
Hmm. Hmm.
And don't
Absolutely.
don't don't be afraid. Listen, one of my other points that I do like to make, it's okay to have to code switch sometimes.
Teach the people.
Okay. There's a way to code switch and still be yourself. I'm not gonna go, hi, my name is Angela. How are you? Good day. Yes. I'm gonna, hey, I'm Angela. How are you? Okay. It's okay. We can be ourselves, be professional, be polite, and be intelligent. There's a way to do that without compromising who you are.
That's awesome. That's great advice. I'm just responding to someone's query about when will we have the replay available. We're going to put this on a YouTube channel, and I will definitely get that information out as well. And then, of course, this will still be on our pages for a little bit longer. I know Facebook removes lives after, I believe it's 30 days now. But we will definitely put this video on to a YouTube channel so that everybody can have access to it again.
Are we able to open up for any questions? Do we have time?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I'm looking at the chat here.
If anybody has questions, please post it in the chat. We are talking
Yes.
about the interview process.
Yes. You're taking my language. That's funny. One of my friends said, Vaseline and a rag, fellas. Scrub those nails on your rag. Okay.
It
I know that's
does.
right. Your fragrance should not greet me before you do. Yes, that is so important. I am a stickler for smelling good, but I know that it can be overdone. And so we have to be careful about strong scents, lotions, and things of that nature. Keep it simple.
Don't come smelling like strawberry cheesecake with frosting and sprinkles and you know, um,
I know that's
you
right.
know, lemon meringue pie.
We
Get you
don't want people to be ready to
listen,
eat.
get you some fresh linen.
That's it.
Okay,
That's
get you
it.
some
Keep it
fresh
simple.
linen. Um,
Yes.
I know, ladies, we have all of these things from Victoria's Secret and Bath and Body Works. I got
Yeah.
them all.
Yeah.
Okay, but I'm not going in there smelling like forest green. Thank you. Leave Bath and Body at home.
At the house.
I like my forest green and my cherry blossom and
Yes.
Japanese, but I don't, but leave,
You know,
I don't
leave it
want
at
you
the
to
house.
smell like salted caramel chocolate. Have you discussed Zoom interviews? Zoom interviews are very common, of course, now. Um, be prepared, okay? Know how to work Zoom, okay? Make
Yeah.
sure your Zoom works. Make sure that you can log in. Make sure you have good connections. If you don't have good connections, I always advise people, we have done away with laptops. You need a laptop, an
Mm-hmm.
iPad or something
Mm-hmm.
because you need your phone as a backup,
Mm-hmm.
right? If your, and this happened to me, my internet went out, I panicked. Grabbed my phone, logged back in. I am so sorry my internet went out. But you
Mm-hmm.
need to be able to pivot,
Mm-hmm.
okay? You need to be in a space where you are not interrupted,
Where it is
right?
quiet.
I'm not even at home. I'm in my office because it's quiet,
Mm-hmm.
because I didn't want my 3-year-old coming up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you have a clean backdrop. Yes.
Yes.
I don't want to see your liquor cabinet
Right.
behind you. I don't want to know that you're in your bedroom on your bed.
Correct.
Okay. Your light source should be in front of you, not
Mm-hmm.
behind you.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And
You
this
should
is
be
the
in a well-lit room.
well lit room.
Yeah.
And this is the easiest way to dress.
Mm-hmm.
You right here. Nobody's
Mm-hmm.
asking you to stand up. because
Right.
nobody has to know that you have just on some drawers underneath. Okay? Get you a good shirt.
Yes.
Get you a good shirt. You still
Yeah.
want to wear undergarments.
Yeah.
Okay? You still want to look presentable here.
Yeah. Ladies, put on your foundation. It's okay to wear some lipstick. It's okay because remember, this is still an interview. Just because you're at home or wherever you are doesn't mean that you don't prepare like you would. I have interviewed people on Zoom, and I promise you, somebody showed up in a do-rag. I had somebody else where there was some untoward activity going on behind them in the Zoom meeting. I don't want to see that. I don't want to be privy to that. I'm a mandated reporter. Okay. So
Hmm.
if I see some stuff going on, like somebody catching a beat down in the background, I have to report you. Please come into your quiet space. I was in an interview with a young lady and her lights were blinking. So she's going in and out, in and out. And like you said, get in a good space, test your internet ahead of time. I mean, even if you have to go to a different location that has internet and you can put on headphones and, it's relatively quiet, do that. But take it seriously. Don't blow off a virtual interview. Also, check your equipment. You may be logged on Zoom, you may be logged in on Teams, Microsoft Teams. There's other programs out there. Make sure that your computer or your laptop or your tablet is compatible with these various programs because the worst thing in the world is be like, "Oh, I don't have access to that program or that is not installed on my computer. So now I can't get into the interview." So make sure if you're doing a virtual interview that you prepare, practice the same as you would for in person, practice with your technology. If you need to get on a Zoom meeting with your family member that lives somewhere else and have them look at you. Do I look okay? Is my lighting okay? Can you hear me? All those things. Test it out ahead of time so that you're prepared.
And one more thing, we talked about AI. We have this thing now that AI will answer the interview questions. It can listen to your interview. If you're like us and you wearing glasses, baby, I can see your background. I can see if you're scrolling and
Mm-hmm.
if you're reading something,
Mm-hmm.
you know. Um, and you've done this before, with our sorority. You said, I could tell if you're still reading
Mm-hmm. Looking on your paper.
because it's going to show.
It's
It's
going to
going
show.
to show.
Mm-hmm.
We know if you're doing this, if I have three screens right here. You can tell if I'm looking up at a screen,
Mm-hmm.
right? You're supposed to be looking at the interviewer,
Mm-hmm.
right? And be on time.
Be on
Still
time.
be
Yeah.
on time.
Even if they leave you in the waiting room, they can see that you
What
showed
time
up
you logged
and what
on?
time you logged on. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Take it seriously. That would be my best advice.
And
Take your Zoom interview
and
seriously.
yeah, Carla said, make sure you have a proper backdrop. Do not change that backdrop to the beach. Do not change it to outer space. Just get you a white background. I know we
Yeah.
love our backgrounds,
Yeah.
right? Don't
Yeah.
change it to a picture of your kids.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
White, nude, something. Get a green screen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But make sure it's appropriate.
Yeah. Absolutely. I agree. I agree. Being on time, I've done Zoom interviews where the person got there even before I logged on. They were in the waiting room waiting for me to start the meeting. And that's to me is like you being on time. Like I
Hmm.
respect that. And
Hmm.
I feel like you come ready and prepared.
And this is the easiest interview that you can do because
Mm-hmm.
it's the chest up. You don't know if I'm doing like this, if I'm nervous, if I'm twitching, I'm rubbing my feet. You don't
Mm-hmm.
know.
Mm-hmm.
So you use that to your advantage as well if you're nervous,
Yeah.
right? I will pick at my hands or sitting on my hands, but we can still tell if you're doing this. Okay, we're
Yeah.
doing things like this, but
Mm-hmm.
still practice, like you said. Practice, do a FaceTime.
I would say the same thing with phone interviews. I know there are still some companies that do phone interviews before they even get to virtual or in person. Test your phone. A lot of us don't have landline phones anymore. We have cell phones. So make sure your phone is fully charged. Make sure you have the instructions for the dial-in if you're dialing into a conference call number, that you're dialing in early, that you have everything right there in front of you. Also, I would encourage you if you're doing either, well, not so much virtual, but more so a phone interview, have a pen and pad near you so that you can take notes and you can write things down and respond accordingly. But yeah, just be prepared. Just be prepared. Be somewhere quiet. Don't have your screaming baby in the background. Try to make sure that things are kind of settled so that you can be prepared to be taken seriously if
Mhm.
you're on a phone interview. Yeah. Any other questions that people are coming up with? I'm telling y'all, my sister is dropping some knowledge and science over here, so y'all can ask some good stuff. I mean, she's got the answers for you. She's got the answers for you. Always make sure you're dressed professional. Absolutely. One chance to make a first impression. Awesome. Any other questions? Anything else that's on anybody's heart or mind? I mean, this has been really, really great. I really appreciate my sister taking the time to come on with
Appreciate you.
me and talk about these three P's of prep, practice, and professionalism because these are the things that can have you ready. Again, even if you don't land the job, maybe that's not the job for you, but at least you will have gone in with all the tools that you need to be successful in your next interview. So,
Mhm.
Angela, while we're preparing to log off, do you have information about your business or businesses or any consulting that you do that you would like to share with the people and how to get in touch with you or what they can do to engage you as a mentor or as a consultant?
So my business is the Career Stone Experience. I do have a Facebook business page, but you can also just reach out to me personally on Facebook as well. I do resume writing, cover letter writing, showing you how to do it, showing doing it from scratch, reviewing what you have. I also have services where I look for the jobs for you and apply for you. Um, we can do interview coaching one-on-one. We could either do that in person or virtually. Of course, most of it is virtually. I am on the West Coast. Um, I also do this in a group setting for companies, especially if it's a rapid response, if your company is doing mass layoffs. All of this is at a set price because I am a certified professional resume writer and a certified interview coach. Um, just reach out to me. Just reach out to me. I work with any and everybody that needs some assistance. And I always tell people if you look at my page and you see prices that you cannot afford, reach out to me.
Awesome. Thank you. The Career Stone experience. And just from what you've heard here today, I promise you it will be worth every dime, every penny, and every moment that you can spend because this woman is a wealth of knowledge and a wealth of information. My business is toward consulting. I work primarily with churches and pastors who are trying to get their HR departments up to snuff, who are trying to make sure that their staff are credentialed properly, especially staff that are working with children, making sure that those clearances are done and up to date. I also do training and development for managers and leaders who want to up your game as a supervisor. You want to be a better leader. So, Toward Consulting is my business. You can hit me up via email at towardconsult@gmail.com. I also have a Facebook group that you're welcome to join. It's Toward, Toward. It's a play on my name, Toward Consulting. And feel free to hit either one of us up just for information, questions, concerns that you have about things that are happening in the workplace. So, sister, with that, I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you for spending this time with me. Thank you for all that you have poured and all that you have shared. I know people have been blessed. I know people are going to watch the replay and they're going to get all this information and apply it as they prepare to get out into the workforce. And so So with that said, everybody, we appreciate you watching. We appreciate you catching
Yes.
the replay. And until next time, have an amazing, amazing weekend.
Good
Thank
night,
you.
everyone.
Good night.